It's snowing outside. I'm filming indoors. So you may be familiar with power from physics class, if you remember that, where it's expressed as force times a change in distance over a change in time, or the work done in a certain amount of time. But what's power in terms of training? Power in terms of exercise, in terms of fitness and training, is how explosive you are, basically. It's a pretty good analogy. It's not really about how much you can lift. It's about how much you can lift in a very short amount of time. So skills like jumping, sprinting, striking in boxing or in martial arts, all of these are skills that involve power. And it's connected to how fast you can develop force in your muscles. There's this graph, which I have a version of that I made, called a force velocity graph. Okay? And basically what you can see is that on one end we have, on the y-axis, you've got maximal force development, so that would be like your 1 RM, what you can lift slowly maybe, but once. So something really, really heavy. And then velocities all the way on the other end, and that is speed. That's how fast you can move. Okay, so that's sort of just pure quickness. Power relates to both of these. So if you increase your speed or you increase your strength, you'll increase your power. It's typical to see in training programs that there's more of a focus on strength. And that's because most people haven't maximized their strength capacity enough that there's sort of genetic limitations on how strong they can become, that their power is also maximized. And if you take a look at these ACSM Rechs, which I'll also have up on screen, the exact amount of weight that you should be moving isn't totally clear. There's some variation, and this also is what checks out in the literature. There's a lot of variation in terms of exactly how much you can do, how much force you need to improve your power, how much force you should be lifting. So a good rule of thumb isn't to think about it in terms of percentages of your 1 rep max or some other value that you have to calculate. It's just something that's heavy enough that it slows you down somewhat. So it should have some effect on your ability to move. Okay, because if it was just a very light weight, you're just not working on power. That's more like working on speed. So something that is going to cause you to slow down, but not so heavy that you can't be explosive, fast. Okay, so if we're practicing for the vertical jump, you don't want a weight that's so heavy that you can't get off the ground, but you don't want a weight that's so light that it doesn't influence your jump. In terms of who power training is good for, the research on that isn't finished yet at all. It's not well developed, but it seems like power training actually might be good for pretty much everybody. There's a recent meta-analysis that demonstrated that it works even in younger athletes, so youth athletes, and even older athletes. It seems to be feasible, although safety is still kind of a concern in terms of fall risk, and produces good functional outcomes. So mix up your training. Don't just do strength, do power too. If you've never tried anything explosive, give it a shot. Jumps, push-ups, that kind of thing. I will have some examples. That's it. Have a good day. If you like this video or found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. You can share it on your social media pages. If you want to see more content like this, you can click the button below this video to subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. If you are interested in personal training, you can find me on Thumbtack, and you can reach me through Facebook at Tempest Training. I'll put links in the description. Thanks. Bye.